What's going on, Gen Pros family? Thank you for joining us today on a Monday, May 3rd, 2021. The NFL draft has since finished, and, we got to look at the picks and see what happens. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But I want to thank everybody and welcome everybody for joining us today on a Monday. Really event-filled weekend, and we'll get into that too in a little bit. But let's get right into these draft picks. So as everybody knows, on my Gin and Tonic last week, I posted my picks, and I kind of went through my picks, seeing who I thought would be picked in certain positions at different rounds for, certain teams that needed certain positions filled. And we got into that briefly. And obviously, looking at the draft, there were some surprises that we saw that some analysts at ESPN called out. Some people didn't see it coming. Myself included, the big one being Mac Jones. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll go pick by pick. We'll talk about the first pick all the way through the 15th pick, what I picked. We might go a little bit beyond that based on what already happened. But as everybody knows, I picked the top 15 and gave that in my Gin and Tonic. Kind of talked about that too. We talked about it in live streams too last week. So we'll kind of dive into that a little bit too. Feel free to share your draft analysis and what surprised you and what went as expected for you guys too. Share that with us as much as you want to. As everybody knows too, this is in the title. This is the official Gin Pros podcast as a live stream too. So this will be posted on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So follow us closely on our website for that information. Let's put the graphic on the screen. There it is. Let's start at the number 1 pick. Let me share my screen so we have everybody involved with the actual picks that are going on. So as everybody knows, as everybody picked, I had Trevor Lawrence going to the Jacksonville Jaguars as the first overall pick, which was pretty obvious looking at the need, looking at Urban Meyer, looking at everything, the whole landscape of where the Jacksonville Jaguars currently stand in the NFL, what the landscape looks like as far as the Jaguars going forward. Obviously, Urban Meyer is the new coach, and Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick. Obviously, since they get that first overall pick, they're going with that. It was shown also that Urban Meyer was at a lot of Clemson games, a lot of training camps, different things like this where we're getting an inside look on Trevor Lawrence, especially Urban Meyer. So he's checking him out, seeing what he's capable of. And obviously it was a number 1 overall pick. It was talked about forever. It was pretty much automatic. And that's how it was for the first couple picks. I want to say the first 3 picks seemed to be set in stone, but that didn't seem to be the case come draft day. And we'll get into that too here in a second. So obviously Trevor Lawrence goes first overall, then second to the Jets. Listen, no guts Gase. We've said it before. They should have got the first overall pick, but they got the win against the Rams late in the season. So we won't get into that too much. We won't break them down as much as we have to, even though we can. So they get Zach Wilson as the second overall pick in the first round from BYU. I had that on my mock draft list. So that was kind of preconceived to know that was going to happen. The third pick, though, however, that's the one that surprised me. So getting Trey Lance out of North Dakota State instead of Mac Jones was a big shock to me after seeing Mac Jones win the Natty with Alabama. Nick Saban winning another Natty. And we talked about it briefly too last week, how Alabama over the past couple years, the past decade or so, has become a training camp for the NFL, for the next level. It's been very obvious that Alabama's been that school. It's more or less a prep school for the NFL. So it's cemented themselves. They've cemented themselves as that and put themselves in that role real quick, real early. But they shocked the world. The 49ers shocked the world by picking up Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. Obviously, a great quarterback, fills the role that was needed in San Francisco. So I'm not too surprised by it, but at the end of the day, I am pretty surprised by it. So good pick with that. Hopefully they can grow and develop Trey Lance into a solid quarterback in the league. Number 4, Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Florida. I had that on my mock draft verbatim. So obviously Matt Ryan, they're going to be looking to win those games that are on the fence. They want to win those games that are hard to win, the ones that are in the balance until, late into the fourth quarter. They want to win those games. They got to seal the deal on those games. So Kyle Pitts is the guy. He's a hybrid tight end. He can be a wide receiver. He can play as a slot. He's really versatile when it comes to positioning him on the field offensively, putting him in positions where they need to be filled. So him out of Florida, he showed a lot of success, a lot of promise in Florida. So he's going to do great as a target for Matt Ryan in Atlanta. So we're looking forward to seeing that. So number 5, Jamar Chase, wide receiver out of LSU, going to the Cincinnati Bengals as the 5th overall pick. I had that one too. Jamar Chase pretty much speaks for himself when it comes to performing, when it comes to getting the job done, getting those 50-50 passes. Really, that's the difference maker. If you can get those passes, bring them down, seal them all the way to the ground, then chances are you're going to be getting some playing time in the NFL. He did that at LSU, got them some really good wins, some wins that were really, could have went either way. So we're looking for that, and we're looking for that same success as a target for Joe Burrow this coming year, coming off an injury. And obviously Jamar Chase, coming out of LSU, is a past teammate of Joe Burrow. So there's going to be some chemistry there that doesn't need to be made after training day and after all this other stuff, practices and whatnot. So that chemistry is a bond that's already been made, and that's a bond that will continue on seemingly into the NFL. So I'm sure they're both very happy about that, as well as personnel and management at the Cincinnati Bengals camp because of that. So look forward to the Cincinnati Bengals being a serious threat through the air this year. And we're looking forward to that too. I can see Cincy doing pretty good this year, making a push. So let's move on to number 6, Jalen Waddle, out of Alabama was picked to the Miami Dolphins as a wide receiver. Let's see who I had as my 6th pick. So my 6th pick, I also had Jalen Waddle from Alabama going to the Dolphins. So that's what happened, and that's what is the case, obviously, based on what the draft already showed us. And we're not too surprised about that. That kind of, came as no surprise, seeing they needed positions filled in the wide receiver role. And we're going to see that going forward. We're going to see Tua probably play that position at quarterback down in Miami. He's going to do what he has to do to get the job done. And he will. And he'll find Jalen Waddle as a receiver going down the stretch. Number 7, the infamous Detroit Lions pick Penei Sewell out of Oregon, offensive tackle to protect Jared Goff and to give him the opportunity to have that time in the pocket. Now, this was more or less it was kind of a controversial pick, because everyone wants those skill players to get picked. You see a lineman get picked, and it's like, okay, we're building the line, we're building the trenches, we're building the barrier to protect the quarterback, the precious cargo, and also to protect and make those lanes for running backs and fullbacks. So that's something we got to look for too. So I had Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama, going to the Lions, following Jalen Waddle after he got picked. I thought that the whole Detroit Lions camp would maybe shaking their boots a little bit and be like, okay, Jalen Waddle's gone, so that has to mean Devontae Smith is next. That wasn't the case. They wanted to build that line, build that structure up front, and they picked Penei Sewell. So I had Devontae Smith, but looking forward and looking backward, I think that Penei Sewell is the strong pick coming out of Oregon. He will really set the pace for that offensive line, and I think he'll do a great job down in Detroit. Hopefully he does what he has to do to get the job done offensively. Moving on to the 8th pick, Carolina Panthers select J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina. I believe I had Justin Fields out of Ohio State going there. That was kind of a hot take. They already have a stacked lineup when it comes to quarterbacks in the backfield. So it was kind of, a 50-50 chance on whether or not he would have been picked to go to Carolina. Obviously, they look like they need a cornerback more than they need a quarterback, and that's obvious by the pick. So we won't get too much in depth with that. They got J.C. Horn, solid cornerback out of South Carolina, will protect the deep third, will protect, way back in the trenches and beyond the trenches. So he'll be doing a good job defensively for the Carolina Panthers. Hopefully he's a great addition for them. It goes as no surprise, too, that Patrick Surtain out of Alabama was to go next to the Denver Broncos. And that is, let's see what pick that is. That is the 9th pick. And that's where I had Trey Lance going. I figured he would go somewhere that needed a quarterback, could use a quarterback. Maybe they have some depth, but I figured that he would go somewhere a lot earlier than he did. So, and he went really early. He went way earlier than expected, actually. So I saw him going a little later. He actually went earlier. So that kind of threw a crazy wrench in the latter half, going down to the 9th, 10th, 11th pick in my draft, and really did some damage. Did some damage there to my draft, to my mock draft, but that's okay. That's okay. They obviously seen that they needed a cornerback in Patrick Surtain. And it was up in the air whether or not he would go to the Cowboys or he would go, wherever. And that was where J.C. Horn was anticipated to go to. Granted, they didn't pick a quarterback to fulfill their backfield needs. So they wound up doing that, picked the cornerbacks. And if you notice here, there's a lot of skills positions and defensive positions that there's similarities there, and they're going in similar ranking when it comes to when they're picked. So if you can notice that, look at that, and you can see it very prevalent here in the breakdown of the top 10, 15, 20 picks. So Patrick Surtain of Alabama goes to the Broncos. And, if they don't compare directly in the position, then you can see that they're going to go similarly based on what college they went to. So you go to the 10th pick. That's where Devontae Smith goes to Philly out of Alabama. And they can see that he will do some damage in Philly at the wide receiver position. We've seen him win the Heisman. We've seen him do a lot of damage for Alabama. And the chemistry they had this past year, I know you're going to say, okay, Alabama, they always have the chemistry. They always have what it takes to, at least make it to the Natty, if not win the whole thing. They had that chemistry last year, and you can see, let's count all the Alabama picks that have already been picked so far. So I'm seeing 3 right here, but we'll get to Mac Jones later on. And there was one analyst out of ESPN that called this pick for Mac Jones. We'll get to that one in a second. And then obviously my favorite quarterback that was in the draft this year, Justin Fields out of Ohio State, goes to the Bears at the 11th pick. So that's something else that kind of surprised me too, to see him go so late. I had him going 8th. He wound up going 11th. And obviously the Bears are in drastic need of a quarterback. So having Justin Fields be an addition, be their guy in Chicago, I think was a huge addition to their offense, and takes some of the weight off of Nick Foles and some other guys that are over there that might have been questionable in the quarterback position. So Justin Fields, he'll do a great job wherever he lands, and hopefully he does a good job in Chicago. Even though I'm not a big Chicago Bears fan, not a huge fan, we'll see him do a good job here in this coming year. So Dallas Cowboys, they were anticipated to protect the deep thirds, to protect the end zone with the safeties against the wide receiver, but against the deep pass. Both of those cornerbacks, J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain, went in 8th and 9th rounds, or 8th or 9th picks. So seeing them leave that early kind of led the Dallas Cowboys to be restricted. And who are we going to pick to also help our defense? It might not be at the level we want, but it's going to be at a level. It's going to be someone that can really set the tone for our entire defense. It's not somebody that might be in a skills position to be able to be covering, fast wide receivers, slots, and even tight ends. It's going to be someone more in the middle of everything. And Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Obviously, hell of a linebacker. He's going to do a great job for that mid-level, that second level for the defense on the Dallas Cowboys roster. So we're going to look forward to him doing a great job. Let's see who I had for my 12th. That's where I had Patrick Surtain out of Alabama going to the Eagles. And they wound up switching spots. As you can see, San Francisco to Miami to Philly to eventually Dallas taking the 12th pick, where originally Dallas had the 10th pick. So you kind of swap those roles around a little bit, and it makes a little more sense. So that's another thing that kind of makes a really interesting aspect to the entire NFL draft, is the fact that they can switch and trade positions in the draft, especially early on when it matters. When those first round guys are going in, that's where it really matters on who's going to get picked and who's going to really make a difference. So Micah Parsons out of Penn State going to the Cowboys, we see that happening. And that seems to be set in stone as of right now. Up next, the LA Chargers, they pick out Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. He wasn't even on my radar, and he wasn't on anyone else's radar. They weren't looking for someone to protect the line off the rip. But at the same time, they were, because they needed to protect that quarterback back in the backfield. Their line was looking a little bit sparse, so we had to fill someone in. Once Penei Sewell went to the Lions after they picked their lineman, I think the Chargers had their eyes on Penei Sewell. I really do. Once they got picked, they had to improvise a little bit, pull a big guy, a big offensive tackle out of the Big Ten, out of Northwestern, and pull him and put him right in the line and drafted him. Did what they had to do to get him. And they figured that they would get the next best thing after not getting what they wanted. So let's move on to the Jets, where they picked up the 14th pick after trading up. They pick up Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC, and he is a guard, so he'll be protecting that quarterback in, let's see who got the quarterback position, Zach Wilson. So they'll be protecting Zach Wilson after Sam Darnold has taken off, got the hell out of New York, and now he is making a difference elsewhere. And I think that's for the best. And they're basically in the rebuilding phase in New York for the New York Jets. Same with the New York Giants, really. But to get into those rebuilding stages and draft who you have to build that structure back up is so imperative. And what other chance do you get than to have a chance early in the NFL draft to do that? So they wound up doing that, and they sealed the deal with the guard and he'll be protecting the line, protecting the backfield, and doing what he has to do. Elijah Vera Tucker going 14th to the New York Jets out of USC. So 15th, Mac Jones goes to the New England Patriots, looks to build up a franchise that essentially Tom Brady left in shambles once he left. And that was something that was really devastating for Bill Belichick and everybody in New England. Now there's talks of Julian Edelman after he retired. There's been some rumors going about saying he was just too afraid to tell Bill he wanted to get the hell out of New England and he wanted to come to Tampa Bay. He knew that's not what Bill wanted to hear. He knew that's not what he wanted to hear. And maybe Brady's just running his mouth a little bit. Maybe he's just chirping a little bit, going over some past beef with Belichick and the rest of the management over in New England. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe there's a greater power in play with this whole thing, with this whole Julian Edelman deal. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes of it. There's a lot of time between now and the first kickoff of the fall, so we'll see what happens. But Mac Jones is going to New England as of right now, looking to rebuild that franchise. So some other guys that went a little later that I thought were going to go earlier. A big one I had Kwity Paye going 11th to the Giants. Obviously, they switched it up a little bit on me, and the 11th pick was the Bears and Justin Fields. But anyway, I had the Giants' first pick. They wound up, let's see who they wound up taking. They traded down in the draft, so they got down to 20, but they still didn't take Kwity Paye. They took Kadarius Toney out of Florida after switching places with Chicago and eventually getting the 20th pick, where I think that they might have screwed up because they should have took a higher pick. They didn't have a great season, and maybe they should have picked a little earlier. But either way, Kadarius Toney and a wide receiver for the Giants is a solid pick, and Kwity Paye will go to the Indianapolis Colts as a defensive end. So a lot of different picks, a lot of things that happened, and you have to be cautious of this stuff, because looking at it, you have to see, okay, these guys are drafting, these managers, these coaches, these GMs, they're focusing on not only getting their picks right and getting the players they want, but also being able to bend and twist along with trading positions, with other teams. There's a lot of moving parts. The phones are ringing off the hook, so they're dealing with a lot, and it's a very long and strenuous process. So credit to them, big credit to them, because they got to do what they got to do, and they're making it very difficult on themselves, having to have all that pressure on them to make the right picks in the right moments, and to make sure that they're setting the tone for the rest of their season and essentially the rest of their own careers at said camp. So a lot of moving parts within the NFL draft. So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, the NFL draft has since commenced and is finished. So we'll see how it plays out going into the 2021-2022 season. And this will set the tone. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that have switched teams. There's been a lot of skills positions that have either switched teams or retired. So it's painting a really interesting picture going into the 2021 season. Let's move on a little bit out of the NFL draft. Let's move into some Gin stuff. Let's talk about Gin Gaming for a second. So as everybody knows, we have our streamers. Smitty is back. So Reversal is back live on Twitch. He is currently live. We might pop in on his stream briefly here in the next couple minutes to just kind of watch over him and see how he's playing. It's been a roller coaster as far as Gin Gaming is concerned. So we have Team Yonan, we have AP3, and Reversal. We're looking to maybe take on a few more streamers going forward. We don't know how many more we're going to want to take on. But as of right now, we're taking on and vetting everybody that comes to us. If you know a streamer, if you're a streamer yourself, whether you're streaming on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, please let us know, and we'll vet you and try to get you involved with Gin Gaming. A great platform, a great enterprise that we've started here over at Gin Pros to kind of get players and get gamers integrated with the gaming community and find the audience that is looking to find them. And we're looking to build that, and we've done a great job so far with that. We're thankful to our streamers and everybody that's helped us out throughout that whole process to promote these guys and they do a great job of what they do. So props to them. Let's go into some updates, though. So just today, the latest flyer for the Corona Challenge, the 2021 Corona Challenge, which will take place on June 19th, 2021, bright and early at Flushing Valley. Really excited for this whole event. It was a great success last year under very minimal planning. Now, I know the Beeper and we talk about that a little bit, how that was kind of a roller coaster of emotions going into the final days and weeks of the event happening and taking place. But now we have a lot more time to prepare. Now we have more than enough teams to have the event right now today, but we want to open up a second round of registration. So that flyer has been posted to our Facebook page. Please navigate to that through our link tree down below. Just go click the link tree or type it into your browser and then click the Facebook tab, and you'll find that new and improved flyer for the 2021 Corona Challenge on there. So check it out. Don't wait. Registration closes for good May 31st. So get your teams in, get involved, get registered. If you don't have the registration form at hand, if you don't have access to the link, please do your best to get a hold of me, and I'll get you that link immediately so you can get signed up, and then we'll get you guys all in there, and then it'll be a great, fun event, and everybody can have a great time together. It's going to be a blast. So we're really looking forward to that, all that stuff. So let's go back to Gin Gaming. I'll talk and I'll look at Smitty's stream a little bit. We'll see how he does, and let's just see how he's playing. So he might be a little bit rusty. As everybody knows, he has just returned from a work trip where he's been gone, I think, for about 3 weeks. And, he's back now. He's doing what he has to do to give us all he's got when it comes to streaming. And I like doing this thing where I commentate on his stream and we see how he does. And if we tune into him right here, and I clicked the wrong thing, one sec, bear with me. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like they're hopping in the helicopter, just got a dub. So he just missed it by a hair, just got the final kill, and they just came off of a dub. So they got the first win out of the way. They're talking. They have commentary going. And let me actually, before I do this, I'm going to reshare the tab so everybody can hear the audio. There's some good audio taking place. Actually, it's the kid show. I forgot it's the kid show. So we're gonna refrain from that for now. So let's see if they happen to another game here. But yeah, basically, if you have a streamer that if you know a streamer, get them in touch with us. Get them in touch with us because we want to put them on. We want to make them stream and do what they have to do to get involved. And obviously, you can see the Gin Gaming stamp down here, which is standard for all of our streamers. They have the GG up here in the browser window, in the border. That's kind of automatic as well. And we touch on that too briefly throughout the whole process. There's a process that goes into everything. I won't get too much into that right now. But if you do have a streamer in mind, if you're a streamer yourself, you will go through a similar, if not the exact same process to get yourself involved and locked in as a streamer for us. So there's a little bit of a process that goes into it. Obviously, following the vetting process, and it's fun. It's really fun. It's exciting. The signing when we signed AP3 Austin Petty, that was a very exciting, electrifying experience. Took a picture right next to the flag and really got him involved. And it was a family-like moment. It was very similar to if I have to compare it to a similar scenario, and I've never gone through this scenario, it would be similar to adopting a kid and being like, okay, now I finally have custody of this guy. Now he's mine. It's a little bit different with Gin Gaming, but there's similar emotions that are surrounding the entire room when that happens. So needless to say, it's a beautiful moment. And that's really all I can really say about it until you experience it for yourself, or if a loved one you have experiences it and can emulate and re-display those emotions to you or whoever they have to. So it's an exciting experience. You're starting a journey, and you're starting a journey not on your own. You're starting one with others that have your back the entire way, and there's a lot of support. You have a great support system behind you. So let's see how they do here. We'll watch them and stream them briefly here for a little bit, and then I'll hop off the stream so everyone can get registered for the Corona Challenge, because I know you want to. I know you want to. We actually have a free agency list too. So if you don't have a partner, let us know. Let us know and we'll get you involved as soon as we can. So reach out to us any way you can. I'll put the email down below so you can get in touch with us via email. Or if you can't get in touch with us through email, check out our link tree that I sent or that I showed on the screen a second ago, and get a hold of us through one of those methods. Had to take a drink of water. Felt like I was speaking a mile a minute right there. But listen, really electrifying stuff. Really electrifying. So I don't know if you guys are into Warzone. We have Team Yonin, we have AP3, and have Reversal. They all stream Warzone from time to time. Reversal and Team Yonin are primarily Warzone. AP3 will play some other games. He'll play PGA Tour 2K21, and he'll also run some Rocket League, which is one of my personal favorites in the whole gaming experience world. Really a fun game. It involves soccer. It's kind of like a soccer-esque game, but you play, instead of playing with soccer players, you're playing with cars. So a little bit of a different aesthetic, but similar mentality when it comes to gameplay. Also, if you haven't already, navigate to Twitch and give Reversal a follow. I'll put his link right here on the screen so you guys can go check him out. Actually, I'll put it on a ticker down below. It's spelled a little wacky, not going to lie. Let me put it down on the ticker. There you go. There it is. Go give him a like, a share, a follow, a subscribe. Send him a comment. Bust his balls. Do whatever you got to do. Keep him in the loop. Keep him on his toes. He has no idea we're streaming him right now, but he will find out following the stream. So they're about to drop in here into Flashback, which is actually Verdansk, but it's Verdansk in the 1980s. So there was a little bit of a reboot. There was an update done to the map earlier this month, and actually late last month it was done. And that's kind of the idea behind the whole brand new map. It's different than it used to be, but a lot of the similar aspects, a lot of the similar locations are still there. And listen, it's just good stuff. And I'll keep his mic muted just because this is a kid's show, and he kind of talks like a sailor, not gonna lie. Actually, I'm just gonna play the audio for you guys because we'll see what he says. We'll see what he says. We can commentate on his commentary, and that way we can critique that as need be. And we're gonna share audio. There we go. Brace yourselves. There's a little bit.
You got while I was gone.
There's a little bit of profanity involved. So that's just a precursor. That's a pre.
Yeah, right.
It's just a precursor. It's a precursor. That's what it is. So if you don't watch Warzone quite a bit, basically the first couple minutes of the brand new game, you're looting, and that means looting kind of has a bad connotation to it. It's not what you think. So basically, they're going into buildings, finding weapons, finding ammo, finding plates, which are they're basically armor plates. You can hold 3 at a time on your body, on your person, and that will give you protection compared to the white bar that you see on the bottom of the screen. That is their health bar. So kind of bare bones, really. If you guys watch Warzone, this kind of sounds dumb that I'm even explaining this, but for the people that don't know what Warzone is, that's what it is. So I'll go on the screen right here. So this white bar is basically their health. These three little lines are the armor plates that they have equipped. And you can have 3 max at a time. Obviously, his teammate right here needs 1 plate. This plus down here, if you can see this, it might be a little bit small. That means he has a self-revive. So if he goes down, if he gets shot and loses all of his armor plates and his health, he will go down. That plus means he picked up a self-revive object, and he will be able to revive himself on his own without having a teammate revive him for him. So a little bit of a tidbit, a little bit of tips and tricks right there. That's some Jin Gaming expertise right here, right in front of you. So let's see what they do. It looks like they got the helicopter pinged. They might be looking to move towards that. They have a scavenger contract open, and they're going to probably look to get that contract fulfilled.
We win games when people listen to me. I'm going to be honest. Backside.
We'll see what they do here. We'll see if they'll probably move towards the circle. They got to move east. They got to move southeast. They're taking shots right now. Ooh. Taking shots. We'll see how they move. We'll see how they react. They look like they're going to this buy station, probably to buy some plates or to buy actually, they're probably going to buy a loadout drops just so they can get their loadout. They're taking heavy shots right now.
Oh, Jimmy the whole time getting raped.
Helicopters taking shots, taking some damage. They're going to drop down now. Go into the building, hit the buy station quick, get that loadout drop, and now it's coming in. Now they can get whatever weapons they want. And there's Smitty goes promoting Mike's Hard Seltzer. Looks like it's really high in sugar. I wouldn't drink those personally. But Smitty has no regard for his personal health, obviously. So he's going to drink them.
I'm going to buy a Seltzer.
And I'm gonna chirp Smitty. I'm gonna do what I have to do to bust his balls on this stream right here, right now. Because listen, I have the capability to do that. And I'm also watching his stream incognito. So that means he doesn't know I'm watching the stream. He doesn't know I'm sharing his stream on my stream. So it's a beautiful thing.
Nice to hear from you, Harry Stones. Hope you're doing well, big guy. Watch out, guys.
Let's see if they can get out of this situation, taking heavy shots to the rear of the helicopter.
Sorry.
Looks like they're circling the perimeter now. Team Yonan here with the commentary. LMAO. I said the same thing. I was almost doing it a second ago, Jeremy. If everybody doesn't know, that's Yonan's name. Sorry, Team Yonan. If Jeremy, if I wasn't supposed to say that, then let me know. But that's his name, Jeremy. Trust me, I'm laughing just as hard as you are, brother. Just as hard as you are. And I want to do this with your stream too. So let me know when you're going live next. Hopefully if it coincides with the same time that I'm streaming, because we can do a co-stream, and this is just it's pretty much getting everybody to see your stream. And I want to do it with everybody that streams for Jin Gaming. And if you haven't seen Team Yonan's stream yet, let me put his stream down below. I'll put it in a banner right here. And I'll just put it like this. Search.
Don't use them. I got you. Don't worry.
So right here, search Team Yonan on Facebook Gaming. So if you go to the search bar up top on Facebook, type in Team Yonan, and it's the guy wearing the beautiful Jin Gaming stamp on his sleeve on the avatar that someone created for him. Did a great job with it, and it's a great silhouette type cartoon picture of Jeremy wearing the Team Yonan gear, which changes drastically throughout the stream. Very entertaining as far as the attire goes for Jeremy, which I really like. I think that brings a great aesthetic to the entire stream itself, and his viewers really take a liking to that too. So it's a great thing all around. But yeah, search Team Yonan on Facebook Gaming, and next time we go live, if he is also live, we are going to share his stream and do the same thing we're doing with Reversal right now. So, Jeremy, thank you for tuning in, brother. They've pinged the building over here. They're pinging buildings all over the place. And he's dropping frames like crazy. His latency's at 39 milliseconds. And his GPU is absolutely out of this world. His frames per second is at 58. Could be better, could be worse. Obviously, you want to be above 60. But what he's at right now isn't too bad. He's probably there might be a solar flare or something that's kind of interfering with his internet. Don't really know what's going on, but might just be with the stream and not his actual gameplay. So if we noticed before, this building looks familiar, doesn't it? So the last time we streamed Reversal, we saw the whole team get wiped in this building right here. And there was a sniper battle. There was a lot of, altercations. There were some different fights that went on. They eventually infiltrated the building and took them out from within, which, listen, it happens to the best of them. But it was easily avoidable and not a hot moment for Reversal.
Jimmy, I'm so sick and tired of you not saying words when you need something.
So some of the commentary could be better. A lot of it could be better just between the teammates. It's got to be more electric. You got to be more involved. Smitty misses a shot. He runs behind the wall, slides behind the wall. He's still running, and he downs him, luckily. And he's taking heavy shots after he juices them. Or he thirsts them, whatever you want to call it. Thirst, juice, whatever you want to call it. There's another guy running way in front of him. He's taking an airstrike now. He might go down if he stays in the window. He moves down a couple floors to avoid getting shot by the precision airstrike. I got to take a drink, man. I'm getting parched over here. If you guys have stuck with us this far, thank you. We're 41 minutes into the stream now. I'd say semi-electrifying experience to watching the stream. Now, what I'm doing is, and this helps our streamers, this is what I do with all of our streamers. I watch them. I critique them. I see what they're doing well. I see what they could be doing better. I see how the stream looks. Does it look good on the screen? Is it aesthetically pleasing to me, the watcher, the viewer? If it's not, then there's got to be some edits that we have to do. Obviously, he's not dropping frames too bad. He's back up to over 100 frames a second now, which is what you want to be at. If you're streaming on PC off a straight wired connection, you want to be right around 100 frames. You should be. He downed one in the building right there. He hit two. He got a paladin shot, and he misses the third shot. He's probably going to res the teammate. Gets him right in the crosshairs. Another paladin shot, and the other teammate. It's not looking good. He's trying to get all these teammates and wipe them all. Looks like a trio, and he goes down. See if he can get a tap from a teammate to avoid using his self-revive. He does get the tap. Looks like he's doing good on ammo. He has a lot of AR rounds in the other gun. And he decides to drop out of that building and maybe get an angle on the opposition.
Need your money, Brandon. I'm coming. Jimmy, head towards that loading. We'll get you in, all right?
This is something that maybe someone else could help me with. See this? See these icons blinking down here? What is that? Why is that happening? I don't understand that.
Oh, yeah, they're on top.
Stream doesn't look too bad, though. I'll be honest. Aesthetically, it doesn't look too bad. There's frames that drop occasionally. But it's honestly not terrible. I've seen a lot worse streams before. See if you can knock this guy. That laser on that sniper, I hate that laser. I would never have a laser on my sniper. Doesn't help you at all. And for those that say it do, I beg to differ. Okay? Team Yonan with the comment. I appreciate the shout out. I should be live here within the next hour or so. Reversal, get the dub for Jin Gaming. Team Yonan will be live in an hour or so. I might get off here briefly to get some more water. My canteen is almost empty, but I'll hop on for a little bit and watch Team Yonan's stream for a little bit. I'll obviously share it to the Facebook page. This is something. Let me just say something real quick. This is something I really like about Facebook Gaming is it allows me, the Emperor, to share the stream of Team Yonan. I can't do this with Reversal or AP3 since they're streaming on Twitch. But since Team Yonan is streaming exclusively to Facebook Gaming, I can share his stream directly to our page, which is housed very conveniently on Facebook. So they integrate very well with each other. I'm focusing on possibly getting our other streamers to convert to that, even though that might not be a very, you know, how do I say this? It might not be a very lucrative opportunity because they're going to have to change what they're used to, change everything with Streamlabs, even though it's really not that hard to do. It's really not that hard to do. All you got to do is switch the stream keys, which is basically a long link, and stream to a different source than they already are. I think that they would find more success on Facebook Gaming, as many streamers have before. I think Team Yonan can even attest to that, that he's seen the experience become better for the streamer and the viewer by streaming on Facebook Gaming instead of Twitch. Just because Twitch, there's nothing wrong with Twitch. The only thing with Twitch is it's a separate entity compared to Facebook. So it's not directly integrated. It's not, you know, closely knit with Facebook between Twitch and Facebook. It's not very closely knit and closely related. Since Facebook Gaming and our Facebook page, since we're a page, it's very closely integrated because it's within the same interface, and it's easily modifiable. It's easily, I can bring it in and share the stream that's live. You can watch the stream live on the video player. It's directly from our Facebook page, which is very nice, and we can cross promote very easily. It's a great process. I love it, and it's great. So it's good for us and it's good for our streamers. And at the end of the day, it's all a family. It's a family deal, and that's what I kind of compared it back to, getting custody of that kid that you want from the adoption place, the orphanage. If you get a kid from there, maybe he's even a kid from a troubled family. If you get a kid from there, once you sign the papers, you're in court. It's kind of like signing someone to Jin Gaming. It's very similar to that in regards to, it's a family reunion. And it's a family union. So by having that the case, and pardon Smitty's French, I just heard him drop the F-bomb. This is a kid's show, Smitty, it's a kid's show, okay? It's a union, and it's a family. So at the end of the day, no matter who wins, whoever eats, we all eat. So it's a great thing. It's a great team effort. So I'll leave it at that. Just to mention what Smitty said, except for the expletives that he said. He said that he's lagging a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the stream. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming his stream. I don't think that's the case. But he might have too many people on his network, or he's going off a wireless connection, which is pretty much violating a cardinal rule of streaming any high FPS game like Warzone. So I don't think he's doing that. I hope he's not streaming wirelessly, but if he is, then he's doing something wrong. Downs the guy right there in the quarry. Missed a couple of shots before that, but got the kill. There's 32 players left. We'll watch the rest of this game, and then I'll call it GG's for everybody. And if you notice the GG's within the banner there, within the border that Reversal has on his screen right above his head, the GG's, it stands for Jin Gaming, but also stands for Good Games. So Jin Gaming, Good Games. Two completely different sayings, same abbreviation, two completely different meanings. But they all stand close together, and they achieve the same goal. So Jin Gaming and Good Games. Something I say a lot when I have a game, win or lose, especially say it in Rocket League, that's actually in a pre-selected chat box that I can push up on my D-pad. That's the button that looks like a plus on the controller. Push up on that, and push up again, and it'll automatically say GG's to the opposition. So it's kind of a nice feature. I like it, and it's good. Smitty gets a paladin shot there. He goes behind a dumpster. There's a guy in the truck too. Let's see if he can land any shots here. Shoots the truck. And if you notice there, when he shoots the truck, see that little gear that pops up? It's white for 2 seconds and it goes away. That means he hit the truck, not a player. Very important stuff. It drops the damage, or it drops the health of that vehicle slightly, but since it's a bullet and not a high impact, it's not like a rocket propelled grenade or an RPG. it's not going to inflict much damage to that vehicle. So that essentially means you missed. Teammate gets thirsted. He's probably getting swarmed by a team. Smitty takes shots, almost goes down, gets broken, doesn't have any plates. He tries to, there's an armor box out there. He might be trying to get that. Teammate goes down. They might all go down here. Oh, wow. He picked up the satchel just in time. You might be able to get him through the building. He gets fully plates. Oh, he gets him. Oh, he should have got that kill.
Get me out of this fucking game. Fuck this Craig, bro. This Craig's fucking trash, dude.
Okay.
He's so fucking trash.
All right. Thank you, Smitty.
Dude, again, another fucking SMG.
Thank you, bro. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Listen, I just got heated. I'm sorry you guys had to see that and experience that. This is a kid's show. I didn't mean for that to get very explicit like it did. But it is what it is. There's some things you can't prepare for. So I'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning into this edition of the Gin Pros live stream. Really electrifying stuff today. Had a couple moments where we were a little bit shaky, a couple moments where we didn't know how things were going to go, especially within the Gin Gaming. We jumped into Gin Gaming, jumped into Reversal, and seen how he played and how he handled certain situations. I'm actually watching him off the screen right now in the Gulag. He's getting shots down. He gets the guy. He's a Gulag winner. You know what? Let's just go back into the stream real quick. Let's just go back into Smitty's stream before I really wrap it up, and then we'll call it GG's for the day. Unless we stream Team Yonin. So we're back. Smitty won the Gulag. There's 23 players left, 10 teams left. I think his teammates are out of Gulags. Actually, the one teammate had a Gulag, so he's back in the game too. So it's 2v. They're one of those 10 teams. So it's 2 players versus 10 teams or 21 players existing. And they're part of those 21 players as well. So essentially 19 other players are in the field of play, for lack of a better term. So we'll watch this last little bit, and then we'll get back into it. Hopefully Reversal kind of maintains a little bit of professionalism as far as the stream goes. He should know that we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube, and we're streaming our own Twitch too. So that should be mentioned. But we'll see how he handles this situation. Let's see if they can clinch the dub. Teammates got a vehicle traveling down below, about 400 meters down below on the ground. There's another vehicle down right here moving. Let's see if they're going to collide or not. Looks like they're trying to avoid each other at all costs. There's another vehicle down here moving. Everybody's in vehicles right now. There's vehicles behind them. There's a guy right here. They're shooting at him. Looks like Smitty might get shot out of the sky here. Looks like the prison is the only spot of refuge, of protection for any incoming shots. There's guys down here at the prison. He looks like he's going to ADS them with a pistol. Maybe he's going to steal this helicopter here, get in the air. And there is a Claymore or a C4 on that helicopter. And basically he should have known that. That was pretty obvious that there was something on that helicopter. It was just left too easily. It was just way too easy. That's just poor Call of Duty Warzone IQ to hop in that helicopter and expect there to be nothing on it. It's up to the teammate now. He has to fight 16 other players, as we can see in the top screen. And he gets sniped from the prison. So that's GG's. We'll call it quits at that. Little bit of a rough day for Reversal. Not really. They got a dub. They got a dub when we tuned in. Maybe we gave them some bad luck, some bad vibes when we tuned into the stream. Who knows? But listen, this is something I want to do for future streams, very close to right now. I want to have some of our Gin gamers on our live stream. So Team Yonin, that means Reversal. That means AP3. You might see one or multiple of them on an upcoming live stream. So look forward to that. Also, we have a big podcast coming out this Wednesday with a surprise guest. So I'm not going to give his name away right now, but we're really excited for that. That's going to be a huge podcast for us. And since we didn't put one out Sunday, that means something really big is coming this Wednesday. So along with the stream, that will be the stream/podcast for Wednesday. This will probably just be a live stream because I want to save the whole podcasting vibe and the entire the entire docket of podcasts. I want to save that for something big. So look forward to that coming this Wednesday. I'll look forward to that. And I'll post about it going into tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So look forward to all that stuff. Stay posted to our website and be in the loop with everything we got going on here. I'll leave it at that, though, guys. Thank you for tuning into the official Gin Pros live stream. I'm John Gin II. Have a great night.